Rarely anymore nowadays, but I'm here. So, hey Nita, I'm assuming that's how we pronounce your name. Um, I recently did a video, a live stream. I went on a bit of a rant. I want to correct some things there. It seems there was a lot of misunderstanding. My thoughts came out all mixed up. So we're going to undo those thoughts, separate it. It won't take long. Hopefully I won't be on here more than like a half hour. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Um, there's been some unfortunate happenings here in northern Indiana and in northern Ohio, but we'll touch on that. So I recently just got back from California. I took three of my uncles and their wives out there for a little road trip. Just a quick little, well, they just wanted to visit some of the national parks in Alcatraz. Why is my hat's crooked? That bugs me. Anyway, so here we are. Yeah. Once again, very super busy, so busy. I am working 40 hours for a contractor, and then oftentimes a couple hours after that in the evening, trying to catch up. So, yeah, I just don't have a whole lot of time to shoot video or edit anything. I'm working on editing a little road trip me and Miranda took, so hopefully that'll be coming out soon. But yeah, so too busy to do videos. It kind of sucks. But I kind of want to put better content out anyway, so I'm trying to come up with better ideas, better content, more interesting content, and hopefully we can do that for you guys. So yeah, in news, news in our home. I don't know if you guys remember Bear, our older dog. He was 13 years old. Hey, Janine. Thanks for the prayers for our family. Absolutely, we'll take him. So Bear, our older dog. I should have had a picture here. We had to put him down. He was getting old, and he had some complications with diarrhea and a bunch of fatty lumps on his body, and I think internally in his throat and his butt area. So I think that was causing him complications, and we finally just had to put him down. And it went, Bear was my dog, sent by God. I didn't know it when he first showed up at my house as a stray with like 30 to 50 ticks on him. But he was sent by God. God knew that within a year I would need a companion. And I never would have in my past before that, I never would have believed that a dog could help someone that much, or that, God would send an animal into somebody's life. But he definitely did, because within or shortly about a year after I got Bear, maybe a little bit longer, might have been longer, I hit rock bottom in my life, and I left everything here. All the people, I left northern Indiana, moved to Idaho, and I had him. I took him, and I didn't know anybody in Idaho, so having him along, hiking trails, doing all this stuff, he was a godsend, and just it gave me somebody to take care of. It started conversations on trails with people and all that stuff. So yeah, it sucked, but it went really easy. I found Three Rivers, Michigan Crossroads Veterinary. I call a couple veterinarians, and because when you euthanize a dog, it basically just kind of suffocates them, or it shuts their heart. Cardiac arrest, I guess, is what it is. And I couldn't bear the thought of just doing that to Bear. And Crossroads puts him to sleep first, and then they initiate the euthanization. Is that how you would say it? So that's why I went with them. So yeah, I took him by myself. I think my wife and daughter took it harder than I did. I felt sorry for the guy, and I didn't want him to suffer any longer. So I took him there by myself. It was just me and him. I was his guy. You know, he never, no matter what I did, he was always there. He was ready for the next adventure. So at the vet, you know, I asked them if, yeah, to put him to, they put him to sleep. And I was in there with him until he fell asleep, and then I left the room. And then they did the euthanization, and then they brought him outside, his body outside, which I loaded into the truck. And being that we live in the city, we're not going to live here forever. I didn't want him buried here. I don't know if it's even legal. It's probably not even legal. So my parents, being the cool parents they are, let me bury him out on their property, which is really cool. Really cool of them. I was hoping that we could wait to have to bury him until we had our piece of property in the country, but it just didn't happen. And yeah, for sure, my parents' house, they knew, my whole family knew Bear. They knew Bear was a comfort to me. Yeah, my brothers and sisters, everybody. So that was really cool that we got to do that. So yeah, it was. It sucked, but it was easier than I thought it would be. Putting this guy down at this age, he's right here, sitting on the couch. That would be a lot harder right now because he's still full of life. And I've heard of people having to put their dogs down when they're still full of life, and I think that would be almost impossible for me to do. You know, when a 2, 3, 4-year-old dog gets cancer, that would really suck. So. Fortunate that we had Bear for 13 years. So that was a good thing. And then talking to pets, you know, here in this northern Indiana Amish community, there's been some devastating accidents recently. You know, a little girl got hit by a car, hit and killed. And then recently a boy, I think, got hit and killed by a car. They were walking on the road. There was out of Joggy County, Ohio, there was 4 Amish. I don't know if they were youth or not. One of them was Down syndrome, I think. We're out on Lake Erie. A big storm came in. 2 of them, the Down syndrome kid drowned. 2 of them survived. The other one, I think, trying to save or going for help or something, went missing and is probably no longer alive. So prayers for that family. Just heartbreaking. I think I heard somewhere, I don't know what the details are for sure, but I think they rescued 1,000 people off of that lake during that storm. Could be wrong, you know, but these Amish kids getting hit on the road, it's just, I can't imagine losing a child. It's just something that when you're in an Amish community, it's you have to understand, you know, the pedestrians, I think, still have the right of way everywhere. You know, walking was the first method of travel. And some people might say, well, they need to be more careful. There are children here in the Amish community, they're still using bicycles and walking a lot. And I guess if you don't like that, stay out of the community. But otherwise, just drive super careful. Stay off that phone. Drive really careful. You know, it's not just kids that get hit. Bicycles get hit all the time. I don't understand. I would not trust being on a bicycle. Well, those Amish have a lot of trust being on bicycles with cars whizzing by. You know, we were running on the roadside one time, and against the traffic, on the side against the traffic, and there was a car coming. The 4 of us had bright flashlights and vests on, and that car waits till the last minute to turn out. Nothing was coming from the other end. They wait till I was going to jump in the ditch. Like, what are you doing? Do you not know how to drive? Get in the other lane. There's nothing coming. And Amish aren't careless. Like if they see a car coming at them and there's something coming from behind, they'll get off the road. It's not that big of a deal, but just be careful. You have to be careful out here. It's unbelievable how much trust they have in traffic. I think it's even here around here we're used to Amish being on the road, slow moving buggies, slow moving bikes, But the bicycles in areas where there are no Amish, I wouldn't do it. Just too many people on their phones, way too many people. So I'm gonna check in here. Martin says, haven't heard from you in a while, Amish. I know, I've been so busy. I've been so busy. I was hoping to take my 3 uncles and their wives to California on a road trip. I'm thinking they're 60s. I'll have plenty of time to edit some video and do some stuff. No time. We drove a lot, and by the time I got to the hotel, I was tired, and I would take a shower and crash out. And then we'd be up in the morning, because in the national parks out there, you got to get up early, like 4 or 5 o'clock early. So Nita says, holding up. Yep, we're holding up, Bear. I'm just glad we don't have to hear him kind of choke on himself, or he used to clear his throat like he couldn't breathe, and it was just the diarrhea. It was time. The old saying, I truly believe all dogs go to heaven, Janine says. Yeah, I don't know. Can't say for sure, and I would have laughed at this idea, your dog's going to heaven, when I was younger. But God definitely sends animals to people for comfort, for reasons, as he did in my case. And there's going to be animals in heaven from what I understand. So why wouldn't our pets be there, right? If he sends a dog, he uses a dog, why would that dog not be in heaven? Of course I can't say for sure. I wouldn't see, it just makes sense to me that they would be. So yeah, thank you, Martina, for praying for those families who lost their children. It's very unfortunate. It has to be hard, and then another little child, was a 2-year-old, got his leg into a lawnmower. His sister was mowing the lawn. I don't know if she was 11 or 12, old enough to be mowing the lawn. And she was coming around the corner of a house, and this 2-year-old stepped out right in front of her. And prayers for, he's recovering. I don't know if they can save the leg for sure. I think they saved the leg. I'm not sure, but I think he's recovering quite well. Probably hard to keep in a hospital bed at 2 years old. But prayers for the girl who was mowing the lawn, because she is taking it quite hard. That's something that happens. And people are going to say, oh, they shouldn't be mowing the lawn that young. Come on. Accidents happen. Could have happened to the husband of the house. So that has been, it's been kind of hard hearing those things happening in this community, and they happen in other communities as well. It just seemed like here lately it was a little bit more so, just bam, bam, bam. But anyway, so owning up to my mistakes. A while back, a few weeks ago, I went on a little rant about the church, how the church hates men, and how the men need to step up and do. And serve the community, and the church needs to serve the community, and how they're not, and how I actually pulled the video. A lot of you guys may have watched it. I pulled the video because there was a lot of I didn't explain it very good, and I need to correct some things. And there was some people commented, rightfully so, that their church does help people, and they do. Churches do help the community, and that's one thing I want to correct. Like, our church here in Sturgis has reached out and helped members of the church, reached out and helped other people. Matter of fact, they have even hired me as a handyman to do some work for an elderly lady who needed help. She's not that old, but she couldn't do it herself. So churches do help people. And that's good. Continue on. So continue doing that. That's awesome. We're not just putting the money into the buildings, but they are putting money out into the community, outreaches, all that stuff. I guess what was in my mind is the men who are going to church, who are calling themselves Christian, who are calling themselves believers, in my opinion, are not serving as much as they could. And one of the reasons is because on that video, I asked men who would be willing to join a group to do an outreach once a month or once every 2 months. Just comment if you would be willing to join a group, men, and go running or hang out Saturday mornings or whatever, and then do some outreach. And no, zero response, nothing. So it appears to me that men don't want to deal with it. They don't want to. Maybe they have good reason. Maybe they're just lazy. I don't know. It's kind of sad in my opinion, because I think we should be stepping forth into that and doing as much as we can. And men are weak. men nowadays we're weak. We're losers, and the women are crying. Maybe it's because I have all women on my channel that just watch my channel. Maybe no men do, but the women are crying out for masculine men. The women want their men to be masculine, and we're not. So it's time to step up, and I don't know how to do that. There's people like Mark Driscoll's teaching the men for whatever faults he may have. He's right. He's speaking up. He's saying a lot of true things, and I'll back him up on it. So yeah, I think a lot of the men in the church are being taught a lot, and I touched on this. So we have unlimited information in our right now at our fingertips. Internet, Bible studies. We can look at 10 different men's opinions on a certain biblical subject, and we can have discussions with other people. And I think we are probably more knowledgeable scripture-wise than anybody has ever been, other than maybe the original apostles or the original churches. But because we've had access to Bibles, now we have access to a lot of different opinion, a lot of different people's take on the Bible, and we can listen to this guy's take on this subject, say Calvinism, and we can listen to this guy's take on, Arminianism, and we can discern what we think it is. Not that that's a make or break subject, but so we're super smart book wise. But why does it really matter how knowledgeable we are about Scripture if we're doing nothing physically? If we're not moving forward physically, and that's my whole point. Like, why aren't we doing? Because God, I know this is not. That's kind of the viewpoint of a lot of Christians, older men especially, is like, well, this world is crud. I can't wait till Jesus comes back and we're just out of here. I get this is temporary, but still important to God. It's still important to be doing the work of the kingdom physically, raising families, raising grandkids, being an influence for the neighbor boy who doesn't have a father in his house. I preach this over and over and over. And then this Trump thing. it's really, what happened to him. It's discouraging to me to see Christians so wrapped up in him. Like, he's not going to save us as a nation. Sorry, nobody will. It starts with us. It starts with our homes, fathers in the homes, raising proper children so that they can be good fathers and have good fathers and marriages in the home, raising healthy children. We've lost, the Christians are watching. We've soaked up so much of the world that we're not even that separate anymore. We just really aren't as believers. We should be. There should be a very physical, visual, sensual separation from the world. Should there not? Yeah. So book learning, or knowledge of Scripture is very important. But and we should continue to do it. But what good does that do if we're not living it out in our lives? And I think the Bible preaches that. I urge you to seek out groups and people who are looking for the same thing as you. There are groups that there are people just seek and you shall find. Yeah, I guess maybe I'll just have to seek more. The millennials, woke generation, basically have no idea what a real man is or does. It seems. Yeah, exactly, Janine. But it's not their fault. It's not their fault. Like the baby boomers don't know what a real man is. You know, this was so visible on this once again this trip I took. When I took my uncles to California, you know, everybody's there. Hey, Noah, Shiloh. You know, everybody's complaining about the state of our nation. Yet everywhere you see people just in gluttony and just self-absorbance. And, you know, we're complaining about the state of our nation, yet we're eating just unreal amounts of food, delicious foods. We're going on vacation. We're making sure we have nice cars. What do we have to complain about? Gas prices? Oh, gas prices are high, right? So what? You know, the baby boomer mindset is what needs to go. I can't wait till that goes away. It's going away, and I hope, you know, I think the newer generations don't want what we were told is the American dream, because it just costs too much at this point. You know, the baby boomer idea of work hard, get a nice big house, get it paid off, have your speed boats, have your pontoons, fishing boats, have your motorcycles, and live it up. And then at 65, 67, you can retire and just live up life. You know, how does that reflect the early Christians? Is that what they were doing with their money and their work ethic? Not from what I read. You know, they were helping each other. They were splitting things, making things even. They were doing things way differently. They weren't selfishly going out taking out mortgages and loans for everything so they can have every toy in a big 6-bedroom house for 4 people, and, you know, 6-bedroom 4-bath house. It's just we're I can't wait till it dies. That's all I'm saying. I think as men, we should be splitting wood by hand, being able to split wood at hand until we're at least 80 years old, if not 90. Yeah. Look at the men around you and ask yourself, are they capable of that? Look at the old men. Nope, they filled their bellies with too many cheeseburgers and apple pies. I rest my case. Maybe I'll be in the same shape when we get up there. So anyway, yeah, the church is helping. The church is definitely strong as far as helping men know Scripture, but they're not teaching day-to-day life, and they're making men weak. They're helping with the weakening of men because of that, for sure. In my opinion, I think Christian men should set better examples as fathers, as leaders in the community. You know, how do we change that? Well, first of all, the father has to be in the home. There has to be a father in the home, being the leader, and the women need to be looking up to, not looking up to. The women need to be going to their husband for leadership, for advice, and not trying to overrule him. The more you go to him for advice, the more you go to him to solve your problems, the more he will step up as a man. Just remember that. Where was I going with this? Oh, and I think it's time to ditch TV, ditch all TV, ditch the movies, the kids' movies. They're horrible. They're just, you know, even besides all the gay people in it, just the message they give that the husbands are dumb and the women or the wives are leading the household and stuff like that, or little girls are taking the lead while little boys follow them on an adventure, whatever it may be. No good. News is no good. It's just trash. And then, all the people, the believers, Christians getting wrapped up in the presidency thing. It's just a complete waste of time. Nothing that happens up there will change your life. And it's I'll get a lot of flack for this. I've heard, but it really doesn't. Like what did Orange Man Trump do when he was in office to help us? Biden, there's more has been happening since Biden's been in office, and we know what he is, a complete puppet. He's just a lifeless doll. Just up there telling, saying and walking where they tell him to go. It's just a complete, he's funny. It's so funny at this point. It's just laughable. But I know I'll get a lot of flack for this, but, ask yourself, what did he really do? He didn't do anything. Matter of fact, he shut down the nation 2020. And he promoted medication that is now killing people. That's not good. Everybody seems to forget that. Oh, but he built a wall, started building a wall. Yeah, he started building a wall. Okay. Well, it's not even close to being done yet. What else did he do? Oh, the gas prices. The gas prices are so high with Biden. If you're going to blame Biden for gas prices, then should we not also, if we're going to give Biden credit for the high gas prices, should we not give Biden credit for it now being illegal to kill a baby in your womb? Because that wasn't the case before Biden. What about all the states who now have concealed carry at 18 or 21, whatever it is, no permit needed? Should we give Biden credit for that? Because that's a good thing. I mean, you can't have it both ways. But it seems like everybody just, and with Trump, if we credit him for building a wall, then we also have to credit him for everybody who's took the medication and is now dying or struggling with it. So it doesn't matter who leads our country, because at the point, just like Biden, he's just the crash test dummy. He's a lifeless person in the car, and they send the car in that direction. They don't care if he dies or not. Once he's out, and if Trump comes back in, Trump's the same thing. Yeah, maybe he has more life and says he's going to do more. He's still controlled. So I don't care what you say, he's still controlled by they. So what does matter is locally. Vote good sheriffs in locally, vote good townspeople in locally, good county people. But yeah, I just think it's so sad that Christians are viewing him as somebody sent from God to change everything. Yet the only thing that's going to change, the only way things are going to change is if we start in our homes. It's the only way. And Christians are distracted. Because their eyes and trust is in a man, they're going to not do it in their homes as much. So yeah, that's I guess that's my opinion. What was I going to say? Yeah, I don't know. No, I keep beating the same thing. So how's your family doing? Shiloh asks. Good. My family's doing good. Are you talking about my Amish family? They're good. We have so many. Miranda has a camp out with all the nieces and nephews this weekend. She's looking forward to that. So at Grandma and Grandpa's house, my mom and dad, they invited all the grandkids over for a camp out. They'll have fun. And Miranda does well in that environment. She kind of sticks out a little bit. She's the only non-Amish kid. So, a lot of them will speak Pennsylvania Dutch, and she can pick up a few words, but not that many. But, she still has friends her age that she really likes hanging out with, or cousins her age. But yeah, my Amish family's doing good. And, speaking of all the deaths, we have been very blessed. It scares me that we've been so blessed without a death in our family or a whole lot of problems in our family. And it's just, I'm afraid it's a matter of time. And I just hope not. But me and my brothers and sisters have discussed that as well. They've thought the same thing. It's like, man, all these other families are losing a child to a car accident or whatever, and then here we are, fully healthy. 12 kids, I don't know how many grandkids. Mona says, my husband is 81 and still does chop and cut our wood for winter, plus he still works a couple of days a week. See, right there, 81, that's what I hope to be someday. And I wish more people would be like that. But too many retire, they start eating food, they get the big bellies, and they're done for. and it's so funny. The food fact, here's a fact. American food is slowly poisoning American food is slowly poisoning us to death. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, it is. The seed oils, all the breads and all the sugars and all that, slowly poisoning us to death. So you see these 65, 70, 60, 65, even 50-year-olds complaining about arthritis and all the ailments that they have and all the medication they have to take while they're out there indulging in all sorts of desserts and candies and sodas and French fries and cheeseburgers. And it's just like, you complain, yet you keep feeding. I highly encourage you guys to, let's change the world. Let's start a different lifestyle. Let's set that baby boomer thing, throw it in the trash. And when it comes to the food poisoning, stick with the meats, the veggies, and the fruit. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need more. Because the rest of it's going to kill you. And definitely get rid of the sodas. Anyway, we're going to, that is a life change. That is a fact. That's a life change. Another thing is shoes. I found that, no doubt about it, something that changed my life was shoes. Getting into barefoot and minimalist shoes is way better than the normal Nikes and stuff that you would buy with the heels and the cushion and all that stuff. Way better. I would never go back. That's a life changer. Get out of politics up in the DC level. There's nothing you can do. There's not all the complaining and stuff you do. Get out of that. Just see it for the joke that it is, and focus more locally if you want to be interested in politics. But invest in family and take that energy and put it somewhere else. That's good. Even Amish people will read the newspaper and they get fired up about it. And it's at this point it kind of drives me nuts because it's such a waste of energy and time. What else was a life changer? Well, the shape of the realm we live in changes your life, but I know a lot of people won't agree with that. Someday, people are catching on fast. It's kind of interesting. It's going to be the next 20, 30 years is going to be very interesting. Marna says, that's so sad. There are parades all over worshiping him like he's Jesus. God hates violence and he supports the Proud Boys. I'm praying for my country. Yeah, same here. I know talking, saying Trump's just another one of those guys. A lot of people are gonna hate that, but it's just the truth. I was listening to Soft White Underbelly. I think he was interviewing kind of like I don't know if she called herself, I don't know if I can say it, somebody who sells her body. But she was, in her childhood, her grandpa was the one who did things to all the little girls and some of the little boys they shouldn't have. And she just made a off-the-cuff comment, nothing harsh or anything about Trump and his daughter. And with the pictures that have been out here of his daughter sitting in his lap and the conversations he's had about sex in interviews with his daughter is just really weird. And I'm pretty sure just that little off-the-cuff comment, observation she made about Trump and his daughter, that he was having relationships with her. And here we are, holding him up on a pedestal. I could be wrong, but the women who've been through that, they see those little signs I've heard enough stories now that they know when they watch other girls who are going through the same thing that they are, or other men do the things that the person did to them, they can see it. And I've learned to listen to that and not just deny it. And I'm 99% sure that he had relationships with his daughter that he shouldn't have had. So I know that's going to fall hard on you guys. Maybe I can put a little video together showing that on BitChute or Rumble or something. But doesn't surprise me that the rich people are sick. Those rich elite are sick bastards. They are, even some of the women. It is unreal what they're capable of. It is dark, very, very dark. So take that as you want it. Continue supporting him. But yeah, my opinion, I guess. So I'm praying for my country. Yeah, I in my opinion, I think the pendulum's going to start swinging the other way as far as people are going to start. The wolves are going to be separated from the sheep. I mean, the people. Some people are going to be brave enough to make a stand, and they're going to stand on their own 2 feet for what is right and morally good in God's eyes. And they're going to be separated more and more from the rest of society. So I'm excited, to be honest. I can't wait to see what the future holds. And I hope, all I can do to help that is, at this point, is stand on my own 2 feet for what is right and raise Miranda here the best way that I can. And I love the direction, the choices that she's making. It excites me, and I am not worried about her future. I think she's going to be a great wife and mother, and I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. I love her in this moment as well, but I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited about her. For you women, one thing I do is the Transformed Wife on Facebook. I follow her. She is, I forget her name. Her husband teaches men. Get Facebook just for her if you need to. The Transformed Wife, she posts these little pictures with some, words of advice or whatever to women. And I don't let Miranda have social media because it's just trash. So I take these screenshots of these postings and I text them to Miranda, and then she can read them at whatever leisure she wants, or reject them however she wants. But I know she reads them. I don't know. She doesn't say anything ever, but I'm hoping that the Transformed Wife will have a huge influence on her, because she nails it every time. She gets a lot of flack, but she nails it every time. So excited about Miranda's future. I'm sure she's going to make some bad decisions, but I just pray that I've helped her enough, and I hope that she can trust me enough that she can come to me and ask for advice and all that. So, yeah. On we go. Tracy Fleetwood, a member of the channel. Oh, yes, Tracy, you have the Amish Chad Kroger from Nickelback. Yeah, the little icon. I forget how long you have to be a member. Shout out to Tracy for being supportive that long. I appreciate it. And me not putting any content out. I hope that will change. Tracy says, we can't just be prayed up and packed up, but follow the prayers with deeds at the local level. Amen, Tracy. Yeah, so exactly. Yeah. How much? Well, it says it in the Bible, right? if somebody asks for, what was it, bread, and you give them a rock, what good does that do? In my small town, we barely have voter turnout for our local issues, but then they swarm for the November election. It's pathetic. Yeah, Martin, that's a good point. That's something we need to get into. I haven't really locally voted. I haven't really voted. I think I voted once at the national level, but I'm done with that. So yeah, I need to get to voting locally. That's where it matters for you. That's where you will actually see changes. You know, if you get solid people in there, that's where your county or city will get better. So good point. So Miranda is 14 now. You need to ask how old is Miranda? Miranda's 14. How long? Yeah. So teenager, but a good teenager. I'm blessed. I'm so proud to be your father. Maybe I'll change my mind someday. Yeah, no, I am really proud to be your father. How long have we been going? I need to get back to editing video. My computer's almost dead. So 42 minutes already, you guys. I have some shorts that I have edited. They're uploaded. They just haven't been released. So I was thinking about just waiting and releasing them all bang, 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 bang. And this winter, maybe when I have more time to edit more videos. One of them is explaining a game that we used to play as Amish. Can you hear the cat meowing? I'm sorry. Yep. I don't know what she wants. Miranda had baby cats. Miranda adopted a kitten. When the neighbors moved out, they left behind a female cat who was then out at nighttime, hounding around, picking up boyfriends, and then she came home pregnant. And then we have 4 kittens. Miranda, 4 of them, they were all black except for the one was gray, and that gray one was really spunky and very energetic. So she just decided to keep that one and give the other 3 away, which went to my sister and brothers. And they're all doing fine as barn cats. But yeah, so now we have this whiny, energetic cat that's meowing, which she stopped now. So that's that. I don't know what I was talking about. Anyway, I'm going to head out. Thank you guys for joining. Hopefully this audio isn't clipping. Everything is good. Thank you guys for joining. Hopefully I'll get some more content out to you soon. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to know about. Ask me some questions, whatever. I'll answer. I know there's quite a bit of Amish people on YouTube now answering questions. I'm trying to find different avenues to go down. We'll just have to see what that is. And I just need the time. I just don't. The next couple months I won't have time. I'm just so busy. Which sucks. So, all right, we'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a good evening.